So I'm just editing together my video from when I did my 24 hours of isolation about a week and a half ago, and I realised that there is no explanation of what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. So Fly FM, our NTU student radio station, and every year we do 24 hours of broadcasting for a whole week, and we call it Fly Through the Night, and this year we did it in collaboration with the Wolfpack Project, who are a charity aiming to combat loneliness in young people that are based in Nottingham. So we wanted to do it to raise money for them, so Zach and myself decided that we would isolate for 24 hours with no phones, no social media, no human interaction. My flatmate microwaved my dinner and left it outside of my door at a specific time so that I wouldn't have any interaction with anyone, and yeah, we weren't allowed anything apart from sort of books and a Word document if we needed to do any uni work. So we did that, and we had written questions that Damien, who is the founder of the Wolfpack Project, wrote for us to answer throughout the day. I didn't answer them at any specific times, I just sort of answered them when I felt it was pertinent, and yeah, you can definitely see my mood change completely within the difference between me answering the first question and the second question is so marked, and as the day goes on I just sort of get more, I visibly get more, I look more tired even though I'm not doing loads, I look more down, so it's quite an interesting watch. So the question is, what are your feelings of and experience of being loneliness or being isolated? I think everyone feels lonely sometimes, or isolated sometimes. I think every teenager goes through that no one understands me phase. I think I feel lonely sometimes because a couple of my closest friends have boyfriends or fiancés, and sometimes I kind of feel like I'm missing out on something with another person in that way. So my next question is, how would you feel if every day felt like this? I'm already bored, I've done some paint by numbers, and I've just had my lunch and I've read 40 pages of a book. So I think I would really hate it if every day was like this. I feel like it's good for me to realise that I check my phone so many times a day, but I don't think that I'd enjoy it if I could never do that. So my next question is, how would it affect you to not have friends or family that you were close to? And as a follow-up, how would your life be different if this was the case? I'm really close to my parents and my brother and to my friends. Yeah, I know that I can like just text a mate and be like, oh, I've got something to tell you, or they'll text me, or oh, I've got something to tell you, or, you know, and that really makes your day when you sort of have a giggle in someone's room. Like I'll go next door to Meg's room and have a giggle with her about something silly that happened or anything like that, and I think if I didn't, you don't realise how much those things positively affect you, that you just have those little interactions, and I think without them it would be like my life would be completely different. Yeah, I think obviously I'd feel lonely, and I think I'd just get bored. Like I'm really bored. So my next question is, in what way could you personally see your physical or mental health affected by loneliness or isolation? I mean, just today, right now, I feel groggy, I've got a bit of a headache. I mean, I have stayed in the same room all the day, and I don't necessarily think that, I mean, because I live with 7 other people, I don't necessarily think that if I was being affected by loneliness and isolation that I would have to spend, you know, I would always be staying in the same room every day. You know, you can go out and take a walk and things like that, but for the purposes of today, I've stayed in the same room, so I don't know how much that's affecting the way I feel, but I feel groggy and not motivated at all. I thought I was gonna wake up and be like, oh, today's really cool because I'm gonna get loads done, and I mean, to be fair, Word's not opening on my laptop, which is really annoying, but like, I'm gonna get loads done, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I mean, to be fair, I've done relatively alright with the paint by numbers, and I've read like 70 pages of a book, which doesn't sound like a lot. So yeah, I mean, earlier when I was reading, I was sort of almost falling asleep, which isn't, I don't normally take naps in the middle of the day, it's not like me. So I think definitely I just feel more groggy and gross. And then mentally, obviously, you're not having the interactions with people. I can hear people downstairs now and smell them cooking dinner, and like I kind of feel like, you know, I want to be there. You know, we always have fun cooking dinner at the same time, and we might all sit in front of the TV and watch something while we eat, and like, to know that they're all, it's like fear of missing out, to know that they're all doing that and I'm not, it's like, oh, it kind of makes you feel gross, you know, like down, and that would obviously definitely, in a longer term situation, if you could hear other people doing things that you couldn't, then that definitely makes it worse, I think. So I'm on my last 2 questions. The first one is, how would you go about making friends if you were in this situation? I mean, I came to uni last year, I didn't know anyone here, and I made friends then, so I suppose whatever I did then, go to all your lectures, sit with different people, talk to people. And then the last question is, supposing you don't have lectures or work to do, how would you fill your days if you were in this situation? Paint by numbers, for one. I think I do a lot more I always want to do more reading than I do. I've read 2/3 of my book, which I started today, which is pretty good. I might get finished by the end of the night. I guess go to classes, go back to dance, that kind of thing. Because then you get the interaction, you're sort of combating loneliness in the best way you can, I guess. So I've just edited all of the clips together. There's a definite increase in rambling as the day goes on, but I think it was a really valuable experience for me. It's definitely taught me that I need to try and use my phone less. And we are still raising money for the Wolfpack Project. We're trying to get to £500. We're currently at about 340, or nearly 340. So the link to that is in the description of all our social medias, and I'm sure it'll be on this post as well. So please, if you can spare anything, go and donate. It's a really great cause, and it's something that affects young people, and it's not really talked about it affecting young people. It's actually quite bad for your health. It's as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and it increases your risk of depression, dementia and heart disease. So it has some serious health risks, and I think it should be talked about more.